live.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the next episode of Joe Kelley's Psychedelic Experience, joined once again by fan favorite and my very good friend, Monty Mitchell, ladies and gentlemen. Monty, how have you been?
I've been good. How about you,
I've
buddy?
been doing well, my friend. Been doing well. Been moving all that sorts of shit. Good to have you. Good to have you back on the podcast. People have been asking about you, wondering where the hell you've been. So we got you back. I haven't talked to you in a minute. How was your Christmas, Monty?
My Christmas was good. Did you get all the snow that they were talking about?
No, of course not. That was the last time I talked to you. I was driving back
Yeah.
up from Detroit, and you were talking about, oh, they said between a foot and 2 feet or whatever it was. Dude, it didn't fuck. It got cold for a couple days, but that was it.
Wow. How long did you stay?
In Michigan,
Yeah.
I was up there till I got there like the 17th, and I think I got back here the 28th, and then I had a show in Atlanta on New Year's Eve with Dulcé Sloan, so I had to get back and get down there for that. But that was it. But you know how the fucking weather people are. They just stir a bunch of shit up because they got nothing going on. But
Wouldn't you like that job? I meant that you can be wrong
just,
all the time.
just wrong about everything, and no one ever gets mad, really.
No, no, they forget that you even said that, you know? But you can be wrong 50% of the time and nothing happens.
Like 90% of the time.
Yeah.
Anytime they say something is going to happen, it never seems to. And also, the thing I was talking to my dad about this, just that every storm has a name now, even if it's not even like hurricanes or tornadoes anymore. It was just supposed to snow in Michigan like it usually does in the winter, and like, oh, it's winter storm
Yeah.
Isaac or whatever it is, you know?
Right.
What?
And yeah, they'll name even the tropical storms, they name all of them before they even become a hurricane. And so we run out of names. Like last year, last 2 years, we've run out of names and we have to go into the Greek alphabet because they've run out of regular names. And it's like just stop naming every depression that happens, every cumulus cloud that pops up. You got to name it. It's like naming every one of your sperms that come out of your dick. Not all of them going to be a baby. You don't have to name them all, right? There's like Michael and James and David and Sarah and Brittany, and you don't have to name all of them. Only one of them's going to be a baby, right?
Well, if you're naming your loads, you'd be repeating names with each load you blasted. You know what I mean? It'd be like, this is Monty the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth, and then here's Joe 1 through 9.
Yeah,
It's
yeah. Calm down.
I think it's just a way to get people riled up and something to do. You know what I mean? Because like, what is the difference between a tropical storm and a hurricane? What is a tropical storm? Do you know, Weatherman Monty?
I think it's just not circulating yet. It's like maybe it's a thunderstorm and a tornado. It's just smaller, downsized.
I think it's absolutely insane. And then everyone freaks out. I think everyone's in a real panicky place as it is anyway, ever since like the
Yeah.
COVID shit and everything. So they go, oh, a massive storm's coming. Because I was in Michigan. It's always snowed in Michigan. There's always been winter storms ever since I was a child growing up. And I was making some jambalaya for my family. So I went by the grocery store and everyone's just freaking out in there too. It's like, what the fuck has become of people that
I
just
can see that down here. They call for snow and everybody panics. But up there, I'm like, I figured y'all were like, yeah, yeah,
it's I mean, I feel like it used to be like that because down here in Tennessee it's like there's you guys don't even have we don't even have snow plows down here. There's like
no, we got,
one.
well, there's four for the whole metropolitan area of Nashville. For 7 million people, we've got four snowplows. So, there's just, it's not, I don't know. Yeah, we're not equipped for it, but it doesn't happen enough, really. But did you see they called for snow Friday?
Yep.
they close schools.
Yep.
Just like it might snow,
Yeah.
and they close schools.
Yeah.
It's y'all still go to school in Michigan if it snowed,
What?
didn't you?
We did. Yeah. I don't know if it'd be. I honestly don't know if it'd be the same now because because that's even when I was talking to you driving up from Detroit, I was supposed to do some shows down there and they preemptively canceled the shows because of the snow. And then you said something like, aren't you all used to it or something like that? The fact that we were canceling the shows because of the thought of snow seemed outrageous to you. And it's like,
Yeah,
so I don't know. I think everyone's just real panicky now. I really have no idea.
it's just everybody's gotten soft, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
And
We want to take care of the problem before it even fucking happens now. And the weather will change people's daily existence, which is a scary thing to really think about, you know?
we probably change it. People might change their plans 4 times a day depending on what the weather might do. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
is it going to storm? I don't know. Do we
Yeah.
plan this? Maybe, but after 2 o'clock, it's whenever they say the storms are coming in now. We got to cancel that picnic. I don't know.
that, that Christmas picnic we've been planning on all year.
They're going out to the park. You know. Man, it got like -5 here during that week, so I can imagine what it got to up there.
It really didn't get that cold. It might have dropped down to the teens or something like that. But the roads, it did get cold enough to where the roads got icy just because like the water froze over or whatever. But it wasn't maybe 3 inches of snow at the most. Maybe 3 inches of snow. And no one gets satisfied off 3 inches. You know that.
No, we didn't even get like a lot of snow either, did we? It was just super cold.
It was ice. We had that. What did they call it?
Frozen
Flash freeze.
flash freeze. That's right. So you could have threw some peas out in the yard
Ah.
and they would have been flash frozen, put a bird's eye label on it and sent it to the grocery store.
Give him to Dana White's wife.
Yeah.
Let him put him on her face.
Dana White.
Yeah.
He beat his wife.
You didn't see that?
Oh man.
They got into a little slapping conference. She slapped him, he slapped her back. It was New Year's Eve. People, you know how people are on New Year's Eve. Things get a little wild. People slap each other. You know what I mean?
And now it's a big deal. She like somebody videoed it.
Yeah, they videoed it. Yeah, it's on video. It really was. I mean,
who videoed it?
Just some fucking jack off, I'm sure, on a cell phone.
Or at a party?
Yeah, they were just up on a party, and I'm sure what happened was they were probably arguing. Someone was like, "Oh, I better pull out my phone and get these two arguing." She slaps him. He hits her back. I mean, honestly, it didn't look. This is gonna sound bad, but it didn't look like he hit her as hard as she hit him. And then they went off and talked it out or whatever it was. You know what I mean? But that was the big, yeah.
So it wasn't even her. She didn't like make a big deal out of it. Somebody else did.
I haven't seen it. No, of course not. It's all Twitter and shit. It's everybody else. You know what I mean? But Dana White just don't give a fuck. He went out and did a press conference afterwards, and he's like, "Yeah, I fucked up. This is gonna stick around with me for the rest of my life now. Now I'm always gonna be remembered as somebody who slapped his wife and this, that, and the other. And whatever. It's not a big deal. Not a big deal at all. I don't think."
Right. Right.
But
I mean, if you're gonna live together, stuff happens.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't slap her in the face. Maybe you give her an elbow to the ribs.
Yeah.
While
Yeah.
you're sleeping. Is that how it works?
Hit her in the soft tissue.
Yeah.
I woke up being Tom Ford.
Yeah, she says I hit her in her sleep.
Oh, dude, I've kicked the fuck out of some ladies in my sleep. Some of my ex-girlfriends.
Yeah.
Not on purpose, but
Right.
wink.
Yeah. Ooh, you know what I did today?
What'd
And
you do today,
I don't
Monty?
think I've done it. I don't think I've done it since I worked at the factory. Anyways, 20 years, I bought a Powerball ticket.
Oh,
Yeah, just one number, just one. I bought it for tonight's drawing.
I thought somebody won it this past
They
week.
did. I didn't know that.
That's
Ah,
Oh, and that's the Mega Millions. I didn't know there was a difference.
there is apparently.
Somebody did win the $1 billion.
It's like 1.35 billion, something like that.
Yeah, somebody in Maine, and
Hopefully, it's
but I
some
didn't know.
lobster
And
hunter.
I played the wrong one, so that was Mega Millions. I put Powerball. Still $400 million.
Yeah, either way, and I'm sure you didn't win.
Yeah, I bought. Yeah, you and I didn't even pick the numbers. I let them pick it. So the chances of that number coming up randomly twice, you know,
See,
I,
whenever it was like 2 billion or whatever it was back in November or October, I was on the road with Weber somewhere, and he's like, "We should just get a couple of tickets." And I asked him if we could pick our own numbers, and he said no. But now maybe there's, can you pick your number? Can you pick your own numbers on the Powerball?
maybe
you can pick your own numbers on the Powerball.
you can pick your own numbers on the
That
Powerball,
motherfucker.
but you can on the Mega Millions.
I thought you could pick your own numbers on both, but Weber said no, and I was like, I just listened to him because I've never played the lotto like that before. But now I feel like I would have picked the right ones now.
You got so ripped off, dude.
I think so.
You should be in the Bahamas right now, sitting on your fat wad of $1.3 billion.
I mean, even after taxes, even if it's 400 million, it's still.
I think you'll be all right.
Would you still work on the bus even if you won the 400 million? You still wouldn't work on the bus? What would you do?
Nothing. I would sit on an island all day long. What would you do?
I feel like I would just continue. I definitely would keep doing my work for a while, just like my normal day-to-day sort of thing. I'd get a nicer watch. I'd pay off my car. I would. Those are like the only two things that I could really think of. I wouldn't. I don't think I'd change.
You got $400 million.
I'd buy a house somewhere. I know that. Nothing big, nothing fancy. Maybe a 3-bedroom house.
You can pick your number on both.
You can. Well,
Yep.
I'm gonna have to have a word with Weber now. I feel like he. Yeah,
Maybe he just no.
Nah, he just talks like he knows everything.
He's like, I graduated from Notre Dame.
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
pretty much.
I don't think you're being honest with yourself, Joe.
No, I
If
am.
you have $400 million, you're gonna buy a speedball, probably.
No,
You're gonna do a little cocaine, heroin.
not at all, Monty.
Celebrate.
Monty, I'm doing. I
You gotta
haven't.
do a charity. You have to do a charity.
Well, that way you get the money back.
Well, you gotta look good to the public,
Mm-mm.
you know. So you do like Wounded Warriors. You gotta do something for the soldiers.
I'd bail Andrew Tate out of prison.
You know what I would do? I'm gonna buy enough. I'm gonna donate enough to that animal, that dog rescue thing.
The Humane
so that they
Society.
don't have- well, whatever the one that advertises on TV.
ASPCA.
Ah,
See, just I want to give them enough that they don't have to, and that with a stipulation, you do not air any of these commercials for the next 10 years. No more commercials that mess up all my movie watching. If that dog commercial comes on TV, I'm turning it. I don't care how into the movie I am, I'm turning it. I can't handle it. And then you got to give to St. Jude, you know. You got to help the bald-headed babies.
how much money do you think they get a year that
I don't know. They're
that
advertising
you're
like
going to
that.
have to make sure you're going to have to pay them enough so they don't advertise anymore. There's no way. They take all your money.
Not the bald-headed babies, but the dogs.
You're fine with the sick kids, but you can't handle a sick dog.
I'm going to give to the sick kids, but they can advertise. I just don't want to see the dogs.
I,
Well,
I
that sounds worse. That sounds worse.
It does. But I bet they get quite a lot of money every single year. I bet they get quite a bit of
Dogs?
money. Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
People seem to have more sympathy for animals than they do humans.
Yeah, cuz
I mean, like if you're more likely to pick up a dog on the side of the street with its ribs showing and stuff than a person.
oh, 100%.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
not picking up a person.
Cuz the person's
Not
going to
picking.
want too much. You're going to feed the dog and they're going to go, "Hey, that's great." You're going to feed the person and then they're going to go, "By the way, can I have $1?"
Yeah.
And that's like, "Go fuck yourself."
Yeah. Or they're gonna steal trophies out of your living room.
That's
They're
that,
gonna steal something.
that too.
Dog ain't gonna steal nothing.
I saw a video today of a guy trying
Heart,
to
she said.
say what?
A dog will steal your heart.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's another thing I would have to do is build like a big warehouse in the back so that all the dogs that she comes across on the street, she can bring them home and have a place. It's like every day. She's like, "Oh, I want to bring this dog home," and I'm like, "No, we can't. We got two, and we just take care of those. That's all we can do, right? You just take care of what you got." But she wants to rescue everything, every dog on the street. You can't. You got
They'll
to take care of your own.
yeah. And
And I told her,
they'll be
you cannot,
fine.
you can't, the ones that we have will lose out on love. Because if you got 5 dogs out here, you can't love 5 dogs like you can two.
You can't.
Exactly.
Cuz you're a heartless bastard.
No, there's not enough for you to spread the attention evenly to 5 that you can give to two. You can love you can love the shit out of 2 really good. But 5, you can't you just can't love 5 as good as you can 2. That's like people that have 8 kids and stuff, you can't love them all really good. They just get half-ass love, and you're gonna have a favorite.
Well, isn't that what their siblings are for at some point? I raised you and loved you. Now you do the same for your brothers and your sisters.
Maybe. I guess those big families, it is like that,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
They kind of take care of the first 2,
Yeah.
and the first 2 have to take care of the rest of them.
Especially when they got like 14 and 15-year-olds and then a fucking 3-year-old. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They got that big ass gap in between.
yeah. But that's what I'm saying. It still goes back. You take care of the first 2 because that's all you can do, and then the first 2 have to take care of the rest. I think you're only good to love 2 things a lot. Anything more than that, if you got 3 kids, somebody's getting shafted. It's always the middle kid. Somebody's getting shafted.
So do you think you should put a limit on how many children people can adopt? Because like, didn't Madonna or who was it, Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt, didn't they adopt a whole whole village pretty much?
Yeah, but look at that. Those kids hit the lottery, right? So I mean, that's okay. A rich, they got
ain't taking
adopted
care
by a
of 'em
rich,
anyway.
yeah, a rich family.
Yeah, yeah, and they got other people to take care of you anyway. Like,
Yeah, just let them adopt as many as they can. But you know, these people that do foster families, like for a living, they get paid to take in foster kids.
yeah,
They don't shit. They don't give a shit.
yeah. A lot of those seem pretty rough.
Yeah.
And also, it's like isn't foster care pretty temporary? Isn't it like a year or two or something like that until somebody comes by and picks up the kid?
Doesn't have to be. I know my sister adopted. She adopted
And
she adopted 2 kids.
And
They used to foster, and she was good. She was good at it, but she's fostered quite a few kids. But there were two sisters. Remember the sisters from Miami? She wanted to adopt them, but then some strange family came out of nowhere and took them away. She wanted those, but she has two kids right now, and those were both foster, and it's just one of those that she fell in love with. But she's had a few come. She did good at it.
Does she have her own kids?
Mm-mm.
Ah, okay. There it is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
the state of Tennessee,
Yeah. That makes sense then.
the state of Tennessee
Can you hear her?
has changed
Mm-hmm.
the law, and now you can foster until they're 21.
Foster until they're 21. Okay.
That's fair. I think I was on my dad's insurance until I was 25.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
So what happens at 21? They just don't have parents again? I mean,
Who's your emergency contact? I don't know.
after 21, I don't have any.
At 18, they didn't have kids. That was like causing a lot of problems apparently. So they changed the date to 21 years old so that they can stay.
Couldn't you just adopt them at some point too
Why would you foster till they're 21?
and not adopt at that point?
You know,
Oh, okay.
do you understand?
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
adopt
Yeah, we
Yeah,
get it. We get it.
They don't get the money anymore. Yeah.
Ah, okay. So they don't get money from the state to take care of the children anymore.
Right.
Okay. Man, I would give up my kid for adoption and foster them just to get the state money.
Dude, what a great idea.
It don't work like that
Why doesn't it?
because you're going to be considered a blood relative.
Well,
Blood.
how about I take care of your kids, you take care of, well, you'll be the foster parents of my kids, I'll be the foster parents of
There you go.
yours, and they'll just stay the night.
Yeah.
Somebody has to have done that before. There's got to be someone just collecting foster money
So
for their own kids.
they will. So say a woman has a baby and it's born addicted to drugs.
Crack baby,
Crack baby.
So then they'll reach out to a family.
like Greta Thunberg.
Is she a crack baby?
Well, somebody said she might have a fetal alcohol syndrome.
What? Just because she's ugly?
I think that has a lot to do. No, someone did a face comparison to all the like the checklist of what it is that people with fetal alcohol syndrome tend to have, and she ticks like every single box.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that's so funny. So anyways, back to I'm definitely I give to charity.
Oh
So
yeah,
I make Jesus happy. And then you can go and just spend, gonna buy a boat, gonna buy a fast car. I'm going to, I don't know, I'll figure out something. I'll develop a plan to take over the world.
you don't want that.
Mm.
That's a lot of pressure. I'd invest money. I'd also would do it. I would not let my name. It'd be an anonymous thing. I would not
Tennessee
let
Anonymous.
let the press leak my name as the lotto
Wow.
winner or whatever it is.
Is Tennessee Anonymous on the lottery? Because some of them you have to. Some states they make you tell your name.
To everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, it shows that, and their argument is is that it shows that real people are winning.
Oh,
So they do the photo with the giant check, and they have to tell you have to tell your name.
like a sex
And
offender.
well, and so they
Tennessee winners cannot remain anonymous.
Hi, I'm Joe. I won the lottery. I just wanted to let you guys know. Knocking on everyone's fucking door.
what I've seen people do is like show up with a paper bag over their head, where they had to tell you still got their name,
Yeah,
but they would show up with a bag and take a picture with the bag over their face. So I mean that's an idea.
yeah.
They still got your
Green
name.
mask,
Hey, kitty.
Green mask. Yeah.
much.
But at
So
that, that's just pointless at that point. If everyone knows your
if they know your
name,
name.
yeah.
Ah,
But I don't know that you have to use your legal name.
your legal name.
You have to, winners must publicly disclose first name and first initial.
First name and first initial.
So Joe K.
So you could be Joe the Booty Man. And just say
First initial.
that's my legal name.
Everyone's gonna know. Everyone's still gonna know.
Yeah, they are.
I mean, look at that beautiful hair. We know who that guy is.
We know who the Booty Man is.
Exactly, that too. You know? I don't.
Initial
First initial.
of your last.
Joe the Booty Man.
I think I'd rather just work hard and earn my money that way.
Yeah.
A good old fashioned way.
But there's so many people that like do think that's their retirement is just hoping they win the lottery or
Oh yeah,
that's how they plan their retirement.
yeah, blowing it at the casino, shit like that. Like if I just hit it once, you see it. I took my grandma to the casino when we were back. You just see people just you know, $100 at a time, just hoping it comes through, man.
Uh,
That's gonna be me.
that would be Casey, but I'm not. I can't. Like whenever I did that lottery ticket, it's $2. I had $2, but I still thought about it. You know, I'm like, I'm really just throwing this. I
Yeah,
could have gave this to a homeless dude downtown.
yeah. That's all I could think about when we were playing the slots because it's like we weren't winning. It's like I could have taken this $300 and bought stock because essentially it's the same thing. You're still gambling, but there's a better chance you'll get something in
Yeah.
return out of like putting it in the stock market or some shit like that. You know what I mean? But it's no fun. You don't get to push a button and the lights don't fucking go, and you don't get that rush. You can't smoke cigarettes inside at the stock market. You know what I mean?
Boom.
It's a whole thing.
I think you could before, like
Oh yeah,
maybe in the 70s, they'd be all panicking and stuff, and they'd be like, "Sell, sell, sell."
yeah. There's a smoking section in the Las Vegas airport. Cause
We saw that.
yeah.
Remember Las Vegas? It's like a little aquarium.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
It's like it's the death exhibit.
Vegas.
Just giant
wait,
giant
funny.
slot machines in that one smoking section where it's like
Yeah.
I wanted to go in there so bad.
Yeah, that's rough there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did, because we weren't going to be able to smoke for the next,
6 hours.
yeah. Oh, yeah, it was 6, because it doesn't matter.
Did you get there early?
No,
It's not
we
a
got,
6-hour flight from Nashville to Vegas.
it was, our flight got canceled, and so they put us on another one, and it still left an hour later, and then we had to go to, it wasn't what we picked, but it's what we had to take. So then we went up to Minneapolis, and we had a layover,
No.
and
Got on in a red.
anyways, it doesn't matter. It was a mess, but you know that when you bought the ticket, it's probably, it might not work.
But
It might not.
Yeah. That was the thing over Christmas too. Was it like 1,600
Yeah.
flights got canceled just from Southwest or whatever it was?
Holy funny is like seeing these people on the news and they were sleeping in the airport. And I'm like, why didn't you just go back to the family that you had to go see during the holiday? Why are you sleeping in the damn airport? Call them to come and get you and quit giving some kind of sob story to the news that, oh, my flight got delayed and I'm going to have to sleep in the floor. Go
Yeah.
back to the family that you had to come to, that they told you probably shouldn't travel because of the weather, and then all the cancellations happened.
Well, that wasn't even a weather issue. That was all like computer systems and shit. But
Well, then,
also, I think what it is like, because I've had flights delayed too, where it's not like they don't really tell you that the flight isn't coming. They go, oh, it's going to be 40 minutes late. Oh, it's going to be another 60 minutes. Oh, it's going to be another 2 hours or whatever it is. So they just keep jerking you along. But I was the same way. It's like, go somewhere. Go
yeah,
anywhere.
yeah, yeah.
You know,
I
who
mean,
cares?
yeah,
If you're out
you
a
know,
few $100, you're out a few $100. What's the big fucking deal?
but no, I think they were telling about this storm coming before they knew that big storm was coming like the week before.
Yeah.
And they were telling people to stay home for Christmas if you can. But there was so many people that had to go see their grandma and then the Southwest thing all fell apart too at the same time. So it
Yeah.
was like,
And no one, dude, I fucking, anybody who brings a child on an airport, even if I'm on the plane, I hope it crashes. I'm willing to put myself through it just because it's like, why are you doing this? Drive. What happened to road trips? How come no one likes to drive anymore and spend
well, the
time with
thing
their
too
family
is
and
that
shit like that? Make it everybody
people
else's fucking problem.
people think they can, and I guess they can bring their kids to anything and everything,
Yeah,
and you don't know. Some When you're having kids, some things you just don't get to do. Don't
exactly.
bring your kid and torture everybody else around you. You
Bring,
know how your kid acts. You know your kid's a dick. You don't get to go to certain stuff and ruin it.
yeah.
You're just gonna miss out for a decade or so.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
You
people
don't
don't.
get to do that. You have to be a parent now.
Yeah,
You don't get to go to bars anymore. You don't get
yeah,
to go to breweries, but they
yeah,
still fucking want to for some reason.
yeah.
And I don't know. It's a kid friendly
And they
brewery.
dare
It's
you
like,
to tell.
why?
They dare you to say something too.
Yeah.
Why do you have your kid at a brewery around a bunch of drunk fucks?
Yeah.
No, you don't get to do that anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. So, well, I can't leave them at home. So it's like, so you're going to get drunk and then drive them home? Is that what you're doing? Fucking good plan, man. It absolutely blows my fucking mind.
It's like they're almost sitting there going, "Yeah, just say something. Just say something."
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's just the same thing with animals now and pets too, because every animal's a service animal. You know, even on
Oh,
planes, it's like this
yeah,
dog is pissing on the seats. It's not a trained service animal. It's like I'm emotionally damaged. It's like, well, I can see why.
yeah.
You're an awful person that no one should love. You make it everybody else's problem all the fucking time. Because I've been flying a bunch with Weber, and it's just like, man, just the dogs and the kids, and even some
Yeah,
of the adults. Dude, some people are
I
just
know.
spastic. Some dude is an Indian guy. He was real twitchy, and it was a sold out flight, so he had to sit between me and Weber. And he took off his fucking shoes. He has like leather shoes, and he didn't have socks on underneath. And he took them off and just fell asleep between us. And it's like, you stinky bastard, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing? It also took us a minute. It was a trip. He fell asleep immediately, and our pilot was late. So we sat on the runway or at the terminal for like 45 minutes. He woke up like 20 minutes after he fell asleep and looked out the window and saw that we weren't moving. So he jumped up and started grabbing his bags and shit. And it's like, we haven't left, bro. You got to chill the
He thought
fuck
he
out.
slept the whole
He
trip.
thought he was out for maybe 20 minutes. Stinky bastard.
Oh my
We
gosh.
shouldn't have said
I
anything. We
was,
should have let him get off the plane. It would have been better. Thinking
yeah.
about it now.
But that guy, Can you imagine? I would shoot myself right there in front of everybody if I thought, oh my God, I have slept through the whole flight. I am the best person ever. And you're like, no, dude, we ain't even left.
We don't have a
I would
pilot.
kind of just shoot myself in the mouth right there, hit the person behind me. That has got to be the most disappointment you've ever felt in your life.
I think
Can you
he, I
imagine?
think he had no sense of awareness at all. He was the craziest person I've ever been next to on a flight, and
Oh
just
my
just
God.
is taking off. Just like I don't know how you don't wear socks with leather shoes either. Are you not supposed to? I've never
I
had
think,
nice shoes like that. I'm a sneakers
I
guy.
think that
So
was an amendment
an
that they,
amendment?
yeah, that they passed back in the, during the Dust Bowl of the 20s. It was people with their cankerous toes. I don't know,
Fucking disgusting.
but man, I I went on a cruise the first week in November with the work paid for it, and we flew down to Miami, and I just hate flying so much. You know, you can't do nothing. You can't do nothing. Can't smoke a cigarette. You can't. I mean, we drank. That's fun. We did do that. But it's just. I think smoking is the worst. You just can't smoke on a plane anymore, and you're bored. So there's like that's what you want to do. I don't know what you can sit there and play on your phone, but you don't have. It's got to be a game that's already downloaded.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. You can't do anything against other people, really.
Right.
I
Yeah.
haven't been I haven't been smoking lately.
I see that.
Yeah. I've kind of I guess I've quit. This whole month I've been doing no cum January, Monty. No drinking, no smoking, no weed, no coming. Or
Really.
halfway through, and I've made it so far. Yeah, I think I just like I got to be done with cigarettes for sure, and then just trying to just take a break from absolutely everything. It's been surprisingly easy.
Really.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It really. I've been dipping, and that's not any better. So I gotta. I think I'm gonna just because tomorrow's the 15th, so I think I'm just gonna stop doing that tomorrow too, and just go the
Already
rest
get
of them.
addicted.
Yeah, I think I might already be because that's been the thing, just being on the road or whatever. Is like I've been not really smoking cigarettes, and it's like just it's the same being on the planes and in cars and shit. It's like I got to do something, but
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I just kind of just
Because that gets addicting just as easy because it's a
oral
big
fixation.
taste. Yeah. Yeah. And so it's, yeah. Uh,
And it tastes better too.
does taste better.
It tastes way better than a cigarette, but
What's funny is I started off dipping and then I went to smoking because it was just, I don't want to say cleaner, but maybe it was cleaner that you didn't have like a bottle or something to
yeah,
be
you don't
able,
have to spit in something.
you could just smoke and flick it, and be done with a cigarette. But I remember when I first started, what got me hooked on dipping was that buzz. Did you get the buzz in the beginning?
Yeah. Yeah. And I took like a day and a half, 2 days off. And then I went into Nashville on Wednesday and hit up some mics and shit like that. And I was like, let me get a can of dip. Got that head buzz back pretty like immediately. It's like, oh, yeah, yeah. I don't get it now just because it's been,
Now, I think somebody told me once the head buzz goes away, you're addicted. I don't know.
well, the cigarettes are the same way too. If you take a week off smoking or a few days off, same thing with weed too. It's like I don't think the buzz going away means you're addicted as much as you've built up a tolerance to it. But maybe there is some truth to that. But I think it's with anything. If you take a month off or a week off drinking, and you have a drink, you'll feel buzzed pretty quick in
Yeah,
comparison to drinking every night of the week. And same thing with smoking. So
Right.
Maybe there's something to it. I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know. But if that's the case, then
I know
I'm
that's
addicted
why
to everything.
I can't do heroin. I can't do nothing because I have an easy fixation. I get addicted, I think, easily. People say they have an addictive personality or whatever. And,
Oh, sure.
I have something going all the time, something in my hands or something. So I think I really could, like, I don't know. I feel like heroin's different though. You don't have like that need to put a needle in your arm. That's not out of the womb. Like, sucking on something, you've always done that like since you was a baby. So that's like, I think that's an easy habit to form.
Yeah.
But like heroin, injecting a needle in your arms, that's not an everyday thing that we do.
Well, I mean, you get your booster shots and shit like that. And as soon as you're a baby, someone's jabbing you with a needle, right?
Maybe.
So
I'm like,
I
ooh,
don't
it
know.
makes
At the same time, there's people who never start smoking too. You know what I mean? They sucked on a titty. They still ain't smoking nothing.
yeah. Oh yeah, I shouldn't have never done that. But
No, it's absolutely terrible.
yeah. But I'm in it now. So. And we're talking about it. Hey, throw me.
Get a cigarette in you. That's
Yeah.
something I have heard about people who smoke crack is they call it getting your bell rung. And it's like the very first hit of crack. It like it makes your head, it starts ringing in your head and you get this high. But no matter if you quit smoking crack and go back to it, you never get that same feeling as the first time you smoke crack. And it's called getting your bell rung. So people will chase getting their bell rung over and over and over again. But no matter how much crack they smoke, no matter if they quit and go back to it, I've heard that you never get that same high ever again. And maybe that's why it's easy to become addicted to crack, because you're just like, oh, if I just do a little bit more, I'll get back
That
to
makes
that
sense.
place.
They say, yeah. Remember they used to say you get addicted to crack off the first time you do it.
Yeah.
That's what scared me to death about.
Yeah.
I never done it. But so I guess that's what it is then. That's how you get addicted that first time, is because that high is that good, and then you never have that again.
Yeah. I was going to say, I feel like sex is definitely that way. You know what I mean? For some, it's like, wow, hot damn. But weed, I remember the first time I got high smoking weed, I didn't like it. It took a few more times. And I guess drinking too. It was like the first time I was like, oh, this is awful. But then you kind of get used to it or whatever. Because I don't want to ever feel the way I felt when I first got drunk. I know that. That was awful.
Yeah, me too.
Absolutely terrible, dude. I split my head open, fell down, was bleeding, puked on myself, wallowing in the mud. It's not a good time.
My first drunk was on Mad Dog 2020.
Ooh.
And the purple, the gray.
How old were you?
15.
Okay.
But it just that's a rough hangover for anybody, I think. I don't care. It's just not good materials that are in it.
You're drinking malt liquor too.
Yeah. I don't know. I think like beer, I can remember the taste of beer was not good in the beginning.
Yeah.
But you kind of kept doing it. And then I don't know, you don't taste it anymore. I don't know. But it's just something that you almost have to want. Because cigarettes don't taste good either in the beginning. Cigarettes taste awful. I remember that. I'm like, ugh. You did? I didn't. But it's something that you had to keep doing. And now look at you, you fucked, later, but I don't know. Why would we do that?
I still like it.
Anytime I've stopped and gone back to like smoking cigarettes, it tastes bad.
It does.
Anytime I've taken a break and like, let me get a cigarette, it's like, this tastes fucking absolutely awful.
Yeah. And but then you keep doing it for some reason, and I
Yeah.
don't
Well,
know.
because
But that's
the
like spicy food
feeling.
too.
Oh,
I'll eat spicy food, and that's a pain that you're putting on yourself. Anybody that likes spicy food, that's pain that you're inflicting on yourself willingly. But there's something about it. I love it, and I know now I'm getting older. That hurts my butthole later that it used to not. Dude, I went to, I've been wearing out some Moe's here lately. That home wrecker.
yeah, yeah,
But that's not wrong place. Chipotle. We went to Chipotle and I got the red sauce, the hot sauce over
yeah.
there.
That salsa, it's good.
Yeah. But he asked me, he goes, the hot. I said, yeah, put it on there. He goes, just like a half. I said, no, the whole thing. And it was so good. My eyes were watering. I was tearing up. I was sweating, but it was so good somehow, some reason I can't explain. But man, did it hurt my butt for the next 2 days. I burnt my butt every time. And yeah, you remember that? She always makes fun too. Like we went to Zaxby's and I was like, we got some wings, and I said, get the hottest. I said, I want wings, and she goes, what do you want? I said, the hottest you got. And then later on, whenever I was pooping and my butt was hurting, I was like, oh. And she goes, what's the hottest you got? She did that for like 2 days. The hottest you got.
you
So no sympathy. But
you
he is
gotta
doing that.
mix some stuff in there. You know what I mean? Some water and
Yeah.
some greens, stuff like that, to kind of dilute the hotness while it's in your belly.
I don't know. She's getting to where she kind of makes me think before I do it. She's almost like she's protecting me from myself. She's like, "Are you sure you want to do that?" I think whatever the last thing we was, she's like, "Are you sure you want to do that?" And I'm like, "Okay, But having to, yeah,
You're a man, Monty. You gotta make your own goddamn decisions. Figure the shit fire, shit fire. It's just part of the game, baby. But it's hot.
it is part of
The flavor of spicy stuff is just so damn good. You know,
I think that's what it
it
is.
is. Cause not, I mean, stuff that's
You can sit there.
hot for the sake of being hot. Like I don't get off on having just hot things for the sake of having hot stuff. But that hot salsa at Chipotle it's fucking fantastic. It's good flavor.
No, my
You know what
mouth
I
was
mean?
watering. I was telling you about it. My mouth started watering talking about it. You know, that's good. That's some good shit. When just thinking about it makes you salivate. So I don't know.
Have you heard
There's
of
something
the
to it.
Spice King? He's like some kid on like YouTube or TikTok or whatever it is, but he has this insane tolerance for spicy foods where he's like
He just sits there and
stuff
he eats it.
hollowing out a jalapeno and stuff and Takis in it, and then like putting like ghost pepper, not sauce, but what is it when it's like concentrated or whatever it is?
Yeah.
Like an eye dropper. He's dripping that in there and just eating it and then just staring in the camera going, no reaction. I got no reaction. What do you guys want me to eat next? One time he's like, I'm gonna make the world's hottest pizza. So he just put like a just hot cheese, ghost pepper cheese, ghost pepper
Yeah.
sauce. That fucked him up. It was great. It's like, oh, that's
Oh,
too much. Yeah, yeah. So there are some, but he just goes around eating the spiciest things possible and like does the one chip challenge and like
yeah.
he just sits there and stares at the
That's
camera
boring.
a little bit, but
You
it's
want to see, you want to see somebody like hurt themselves though. You want to see the guy sitting there eating it and sweating and crying, and that's good watching. This guy sitting there just going to eat a hot chip and nothing.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
it's impressive, but it's not good TV.
yeah. I guess that's part of the fun in watching. Do you watch Hot Ones at all? The guy
Yeah.
who interviews
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
that's kind of the fun in that is watching people
yeah,
kind of like have a meltdown or
yeah,
whatever it is, still trying to answer questions.
yeah. Yeah. That's
The Spice King is like I'm gonna keep doing this stuff until I get on Hot Ones, and it's like, well, I think the point of Hot Ones is to see people react, and if you don't react to anything, it's like, why the fuck would he have you on to talk about nothing? Talk about how you can eat hot food and not react to it?
Yep.
You want to see Shaq start crying.
Yeah. I wonder how far I can make it in Hot Ones.
Well, you got to go. You'd have to go until the end. You can't fucking. I saw somebody quit, and I can't remember. Post Malone was on there, and he ate boneless wings, and I lost a little bit of respect for him for eating boneless wings. And then there's some people tap out, and it's like, you do the fucking thing that you're there to do. You know what I mean? It's gonna suck.
Yeah, but it's forever on video.
Yeah,
so you got to go all the way.
You have to. Can't be a coward.
I've not watched it in a while, but I've seen people like tap out after like the third one.
Nah.
I'm like, come on.
Nah, you should not.
I can't remember who it is.
You should
Rihanna
never.
Or somebody didn't make it that far.
You shouldn't be able to make any more music, no more movies for you, nothing.
You wasted that guy's whole day.
Yeah.
Tapping out at 3.
And now we're just doing a regular interview.
Yeah.
Go on the Tonight Show if you don't want to fucking eat anything. You know what I mean? Fuck out of here.
Fallon just gonna make you do Pictionary. Do that.
Yeah. Some stupid shit. It's nonsense. Do the thing you set out to do. Bunch of cowards.
Yeah. I do. I think you got to go all the way. And
you'd have to.
The more suffering you do, the more people are going to watch it.
I mean, we can just do that. We don't have to go on Hot Ones to do that, Monty. We can just do our own. You just want to eat hot wings and talk into a camera for a little while?
Yeah.
We can do that. Let's do it. Let's do it.
I want us to have the same thing. We got to get together and just do it at the same time.
Face to face.
Next to each other. Yeah. And just snot and drool all over each other and see, it'd be fun.
When Spanky's closed down and became the Night Owl or whatever, Chad Ryden they had like a wing. They're like, if you eat 6, it's a hot wing eating contest where you eat 6 of their hot wings or whatever it is, and it's like he got a PBR for doing it, and that was it.
He did.
Not much of a prize.
He did something at Third Coast where you ate some shit that he had mixed up, and then you told jokes. And
I remember that show.
And I did it, and I wanted it to be good. You know, I wanted to be salivating and all that and struggling and stuff, but it wasn't. I don't think he made it as hot as he could because other people that were on the show too doing it.
Fuck that. Again, fuck that. You want to do it, you're going to die, all right?
It's a great idea, right? So spin on Hot Ones. Go out there and do your set
while
you're eating wings.
No, you can't just have a regular comedy show. God forbid.
That's true too.
God forbid you just have a regular old comedy show, you know? You got to get the people in somehow.
I guess.
Get them high, get them eating hot wings, doing something like that.
Yeah, get them drunk.
Get them drunk. That's the other thing too, the old drunk show.
Yeah.
It's all, which you know, we'll do that anyway.
How's your new place working out?
Just go to Fort Walton. It's good.
You're meeting your neighbors and stuff now?
No, I'm completely avoiding them at all costs, Monty. They're trash people.
Are they?
Kind of,
like,
yeah.
You don't have no good-looking ladies?
I haven't. No, not in the immediate area. But I went today, maybe like a mile in the opposite direction of which I usually do. There might be, but no, not around here. No, what is tonight? Thursday night. The neighbors were up until probably 2:30 in the morning, arguing, yelling at each other. A couple weeks ago, they had like the first weekend or the first couple nights I was here. They probably had like 6 or 7 kids over there just beating on the walls and stuff. So I got a Bluetooth speaker and just started playing porn real loud. Yeah. I was like, you guys are
That's a great idea.
fucking assholes. Just play, yeah. So they'll be playing music real loud.
So
and,
passive aggressive.
yeah,
What a great move.
yeah. I'm not gonna deal with it. It's like, come on now. You can't. You let you could these. You know these kids are being incredibly loud, and you're not doing anything. Played like some devil music and shit like that. You know, just doing the old rigmarole. Because I'm not gonna go over there and go, hey, can you guys be quiet? Because they're gonna go, hey, fuck you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, not meeting them. And yeah, there was a couple weeks ago, I guess whenever I got back from the show in Atlanta on New Year's Eve, I got back here New Year's Day. There's just a fucking bullet casing on my patio, just a single bullet casing. You know what I mean? So shit light. So no, I'm not trying to meet people out here, Monty. And then, yeah, last week there's people were fucking fighting, or 2 weeks ago, I guess, like arguing in the front yard at 11 o'clock at night. Like, lady with her kids brought her kids talking, yelling at some
There
other.
you go. Gotta bring you fucking kids
At
again.
11 o'clock at night, yelling at some other lady, like, "Oh, you should kill yourself. You should kill yourself. If you don't kill yourself, I'll do it for you." It's like, your children are here. You know what I mean? Like, shit like that. So no, I ain't trying to meet nobody like that. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Are you getting like a routine down, like your morning stuff? Remember you used to do like a walk at your old place?
Yeah, I'm still walking around a little bit. The street's a dead end, so I can only go so far. But if I cross kind of the main road that I'm off of, there's like a little neighborhood back there. It's like a trailer park and shit. It's not like the nicest part of town right now, but everything, like, they're building apartments. They're doing construction across the street. Kitty corner from me, they just rebuilt these other duplexes that look real nice. 2 doors down, they rebuilt these other ones too. So it looks like things are on the come up. They're building a nice gas station right around the corner too, shit like that. So
Okay.
we'll see what happens. But yeah, for the time being, I'm just minding my own business. And like, yeah, it's great having my own place. I know that. And having a slow morning, still going on my walks and shit, being able to podcast whenever I want to. I got this whole room is just like an office studio now, and then I got my bedroom, and I got a TV, the first TV I've had since 2011. I got a TV, so I've been,
2011.
Yeah, that was the last time I had a TV.
Oh yeah, you was in your van for a while.
Well, I moved to Maui in 2012, so I sold my TV before that. And then moved to Nashville in 2012, and then I just never had a TV for, I guess, 11 years. So it's the first time I've had a TV.
They got thinner.
They did get thinner and a lot cheaper. It's only a 32-inch, but I remember I got a 32-inch in 2007. And it was like $730. I got this for like $118. Pretty much the same goddamn TV.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. I remember the first flat screen TV I got was a plasma.
Yeah, that's what it was.
They don't even make those anymore. That was a great idea.
Yeah.
And it did. It only lasted like a couple of years. But I think I used income tax back then, and it might have been around that same time. No, that was like 2008 or so. Anyway,
yeah, it was like the same time. You were right.
Okay. And yeah, I think it was like $700. I spent like all of my income tax money on this TV.
Yeah, it was me too. I was still living at home then, so it was like it wasn't a big deal. But think about the price of TV has gone down significantly. Price of eggs, way the fuck up.
What the fuck?
I went to Aldi and I was like, because I haven't bought eggs in like 3 months now. I was like, Aldi's got to have cheap eggs. It was like $4.30 for a dozen there. At Aldi.
Everybody's talking about it, and now you want eggs? You haven't had any in 3 months?
No, I'm just not. No, I always look at the eggs anytime I go grocery shopping, but I'm like, I'm not going to spend $4 on a dozen. When I was buying, summer of 2020, I was buying 18 for $1.08, and now they're $4.30. So I like an egg. You know what I mean? I'm an egg guy.
I love eggs.
I just
I like.
won't buy them.
I get into like sometimes I get into these routines where I have like a normal adult sleep schedule where I go to bed at a decent time and then I wake up at a decent time and then I want breakfast whenever I'm on that schedule. I want but how much for eggs? We went last night. How much for eggs?
6 something.
6 something at Walmart for a dozen.
It's insane.
Large. And then it was like $7 for extra large. So
It's absolutely crazy.
nothing makes sense anymore though. But there's no reason to go out and like panic buy on eggs, like they did
No, you can't. Well, you can't save them. That's a big part of it.
Right.
You can't really store eggs that long.
What?
You can freeze it.
You can freeze eggs.
They showed it on the news.
They showed it on the news. You can freeze eggs. It's
Nah.
not gonna thaw right.
Nah, it seems like it'd be watery or whatever it is. I heard
You
there.
can freeze the human body, but I don't think it's gonna be right when you thaw it.
Nah, it could be a little mushy.
Yeah.
Well,
Gonna stuff start deteriorating faster.
yeah, things separate.
I mean, you can't bring them back to life.
You
can
could.
put-
It depends how long they've been frozen. You ever freeze a bumblebee?
No.
You never put a bee in the freezer and let it die or whatever, and then tie a string around it, and then let it unthaw and it flies around? Well, you got a string. You got a bee on a
Really?
string. Yeah, that seems like something you'd do out in Cookville.
No.
No, yeah. As long as
How did you catch the bumblebee to begin with?
you put like a jar over it and then slide like a piece of paper or cardboard underneath it, so then you got it in the jar, and then you put it in the freezer for like maybe 4 or 5 minutes just to numb it, kind of knock it out, and then you tie a little string around it, a little twine, a little fishing line, and then put it out in the sun, let it unthaw. Then you got pet bee.
But it didn't freeze solid.
No, you don't leave it in there for a day.
So I wonder if you leave it in there for the day.
It die. Yeah, for sure. I'm pretty sure. I can't imagine. But I think if you froze a person for just a little bit until they were unconscious, you could probably revive them.
Oh yeah, you hear about that, like people falling in the ice and they're like,
Yeah.
they bring them back.
Yeah, so you could defrost a person.
But still, that person, sometimes they have brain damage. They're still not right.
Yeah.
And so I don't like your egg story. You just keep that to yourself. Don't tell anybody else about that.
I heard there's been a bird flu going around with the chickens, and a lot of chickens have been dying this past year, which is why eggs are so expensive. But why is everything why is cereal? Why is a box of cereal $7.50? That ain't got nothing to do with bird flu.
And not only that, and we've talked about this, but they take your portions of everything now since like 2020 when everything went crazy. Your portions are less and they're charging more. The boxes are not as,
Yeah.
they've taken out a couple of ounces.
Even
out of
like
everything.
even if you go to Burger King and get like a Whopper meal, it's like $12. It's like you're better off going and getting an actual real
Sit
food. Yeah.
You know what that is? You know what that is, though? That's where they had to raise the minimum wage. And we said, that's just going to raise the price of everything. No, it won't. We got to pay them $15 an hour because high school kids are raising a family. I don't know.
Yeah.
But so you're paying them $15 an hour. And now my Taco Bell Mexican pizza is $15 for that combo meal.
Yeah.
And
I also think it has something to do with just the amount of money that keeps getting printed year after year after year. That's what I have been hearing. Like, what is his name? Peter Schiff, I believe. He's like a finance guy or something like that. He's because everyone's like the cause of inflation is everything. It's everything but the government printing money. It's all these other things. It's the minimum wage getting raised up. It's the corporations not paying enough taxes. But this guy's like, it has everything to do with the fact that the government keeps printing billions of dollars every year and is making our money completely worthless. But when you keep blaming the minimum wage worker, the corporations, the bird flu, and all this shit, everyone's going to go, it's all those things, instead of what the actual reason is the fact that our money isn't worth the dollar ain't worth a goddamn thing anymore. And maybe it's a mixture of it all. You know what I mean? Maybe it's not just one thing, but that certainly has something to do with it.
It showed too how fragile everything is. That like if we never had a bird flu before, I don't remember eggs ever having to be this high, but surely we've had a bird flu before, and why? Surely we've had this happen to chickens before.
Yeah.
But I never remember there being a problem with the price of eggs. So I feel like everybody, and you know what it is, every time Casey heard that beer is going to be the next thing that's going to go through the roof.
What's the reasoning? What's the reason for that? What are they going to tell us that is?
So
wheat production.
Your mom called that.
But man, here's the thing though. They're all these segments are going to do this, and you know, once the price goes up, it never goes back down.
Yeah.
It never goes back down to what it was.
Yeah, yeah. It goes down a little bit.
Hurricane, wood goes through the roof, and then it never goes back down to what it was. Gas will never go back down to what it was.
87 cents.
They're loving this these profits that they're making right now.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not going to give that up. So we're fucked everywhere.
Yeah, it's a weird spot to be in, and everything is, like you said, it's all very fragile. It's all super fragile, man.
So fragile.
And it's like, and no one, no one gives a shit. No one gives a shit. No one's looking out for you and me and like us at all, at all. So where do we go from here? What's the next thing?
Within your means. Make sure you live within your means.
I think that's a big part of it too, is even the poorest of people have been living the high life as far as America goes. We got it better than everybody else. And even the standard of living is dropping a bit. It still ain't that bad. You know what I mean? But
no, not to other countries. Hell no.
No, but it can't be maintained. And where does it end? Where is the end of all this shit?
Well, am I just now growing up? Am I just now seeing this? Or is it a new thing that these supply chains are that fragile that everything? This has got to happen before. This can't be the first time in history that this has happened, that we're going through this. But it feels like everything, felt like it started with microchips, and then it went to gas, and toilet paper and eggs. I guess it was microchips, toilet paper, maybe whatever, gas. Then toilet. It doesn't matter. I didn't know. Surely this has happened before in history.
Well, was that part of the Great Depression? I don't know enough about the Great Depression to know if they had supply chain issues, but I'm sure they did, since it was the world at war. You know what I mean? I'm sure there was all sorts of supply chain issues and people not giving you these certain things, and you're not giving these people these things. And I don't know. I don't know. I need Ben Sawyer for this shit.
The word supply chain, like if you used to read an article from the Great Depression about why it's happening or anything, is that even a word then?
Not then.
I don't think that's a word then. So whatever you would read the reason for it being, and even if it was supply chain, I don't think that was a word.
Yeah.
They would use.
It is a thing where it's like you never heard of it, and then the next day everybody's talking about it like they know what the fuck it is. And that's like, what does that even mean? Well, it's the supply chain. You know what I mean?
Limited source, she says. Maybe that was the word.
Limited source.
In the Great Depression, they had the Dust Bowl that happened, which knocked out all the crops and all the stuff out west.
Mm-hmm.
So then those people that shipped it out, because we wasn't bringing in, we wasn't importing everything from fucking other governments.
No, it wasn't importing.
Oh, that too. Yeah. I forgot about
It
that
was.
part where we
It
don't
was.
we don't make anything anymore either.
Yeah.
So we're dependent on what these other countries are doing now. And when China shut down, it fucked us.
Yeah. Man, and that
And
might
now,
be though from the Great Depression is that we're like, oh, well, if our shit, we need to diversify and need to have crops
no,
coming in from Mexico or somewhere else or whatever, that we can't just be dependent on us to supply us.
no,
You
that
got to
is
have
not good.
somewhere else. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like, I think we could do a lot right here and not depend on another country that might get mad at us, and then we
We
don't have medicine
we
anymore.
probably could, but you'd have to. I mean, it's not only that we could do it, but you'd have to convince people to work jobs they don't necessarily want to work. You know what I
And
mean?
you got to build the stuff for it.
Build
And
the infrastructure, yeah.
they were saying the microchips, like if we started building shit to make microchips here before that is ever online, because it's such a uh, complicated thing, it would still be like 7 years before we would ever see the results of making microchips.
Well,
I don't know.
that's better
I
than
don't.
not seeing any results.
That is true.
You know.
Better than nothing.
Yeah, but we don't. You know, we don't
But
make
I feel like
anything.
medicine isn't that simple. I mean, you can build a warehouse and you can build the machinery to do that pretty quickly, and we're not dependent on. I know that they said a lot of medicine come out of China that we didn't realize, and then the thing happened, and they were talking like fucking forgot about formula.
Oh, the baby formula, yeah.
We've had so
Tit
much
juice.
shit. I don't know what I'd done if I had a baby and I couldn't get formula for it. I'd just take a toilet plunger and start pounding on her titties and getting
Well,
it to
yeah.
work it.
What were babies doing before formula was even a fucking thing, though?
That's true too.
You know.
They were eating meat and potatoes at baby.
Pot roast and steamed carrots for you, baby.
Went soft, man. I'm telling you, we're soft.
It's so, yeah. I don't. It doesn't seem good. It doesn't seem like a way out. I heard somebody on Joe Rogan's podcast talking about China, and because of their one child policy or whatever it is, he
Yeah, I saw
he
that.
was saying in like 10 years, like China's gonna, because everyone's like, even I've thought like China's gonna be the next superpower or whatever it is, but it's like no, because of this, these crazy rules they've implemented about you can only have one kid, there isn't going to be enough Chinese people to maintain whatever it is they're doing. So it looks like, it's got to be India that's going to be next in line then to be like the main. Does India have nuclear weapons? Oh, then they got to be next in line, right?
Yeah, but I think we're friendly with India, right?
For now. Who the fuck knows? I don't know, dude. I got no idea what's going on.
I know our neighborhood convenience store. I love that guy.
Yeah. Dude, we did some shows in Huntsville. There's Ritu. You know Ritu? She's a little Indian comic in Nashville.
Oh yeah.
We took her down to do the shows, and she was talking about jokes and stuff. And she goes, "Do you think Americans know that Indian people work at convenience stores?" And it's like, yeah, we definitely have a grasp of that concept for sure. She thought it
Yeah,
was like some far out fucking thing. She's like, are people going to understand what I'm talking about if I mention Indians working at convenience stores? And it's like, we're not allowed to say that, but you can. Yeah, absolutely.
yeah. I mean, it's a fact, right? They gravitate towards convenience stores and hotels, and I
Yeah.
don't know why that is.
Yeah.
Why is that? I mean, I'm glad that there are people that specialize in something, and if they happen to be all Indians,
It's
that's
probably
fine.
it's probably an easy way to start your own business. You have your own place. You got your own business. You can have your family that works there and shit like that. You know what I mean? a lot of people who come to America, like foreigners, as we like to say, they're very like, they all still work together, and it's like, okay, we're all going to go in on this one business together. So we got our shop, and it's my shop and my brother's shop, and we can all do it together. Whereas us who are brought up in America, we all want I want my own shop, and you can have your own shop, and he can have his own shop, and then they all last 3 or 4 years, and then they fall to shit.
But if me and you went to another country and we had to start from zero, because there's something about starting from zero
Oh yeah,
that will bring you together. And you're also in a foreign land
yeah,
that maybe you don't look like everybody else.
Yeah.
Like if we was to go to India, we're going to stick together. That's what they did. You know, that was the whole thing about New York, you know, the Irish and the Italians and all that.
yeah,
For some reason, you gravitate towards your own.
Yeah.
Of course, you can understand each other. You got the same interest and all that stuff. I get it.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like a clique
yeah,
that you have. You know, if me and you go to a wedding, we're going to kind of stick together because we're buddies. We have the same interest. We have the same, you know, and that's the way people are. That's
no
just
way,
the way.
dude. That's you're talking like a racist right now, Monty.
Yeah, that's
okay,
racist.
you're racist,
You're
dude.
Yeah,
You're
racist.
absolutely
I know.
racist.
Oh,
That's just, somebody was talking. It was a Jewish guy. He's like, you know how Jewish people keep their money? Because it's like when a Jewish person starts making money, 5 other Jewish people are making money right along with them. Like it's, you know, Italians, Irish people, it's what they do. It's like, I'm making money. You guys are making money. We're going to keep making money together. But I guess we've been brought up with the idea that it's a solo.
it's always we're privileged, you know,
Yeah.
in a way. We're not rich or nothing,
Yeah.
but we're still privileged. We're born in America. We didn't never want for anything, and that's the thing. People talk about how bad America is, but we don't want for anything. Everybody, you know, you're born pretty good right off the bat. You know, and in other countries, you know, we've all got the internet. We see the slums in India where these poor people are having to do manual labor and work day and night. I did see where a guy kind of made it in the slums of, what is that, New Delhi or whatever? I
Yeah.
don't know. He was making purses by hand, and he actually got, like, rich people were coming to the slums to buy his purses, and he was able to build like an apartment complex in the slums, and he lived on the top floor. And so, but he's still in the slums. Like, he's not. I think you talk about how racist we are or whatever this country, you think this country is, but there, if you're born in the slums, evidently you can't leave the slums. So he just built an apartment in the slums. And it's just like North Korea. People that escape from North Korea and go to South Korea, they they talk different. It's still Korean, I think, but they talk different, and people know, and they treat them different. Even though they fled over there to be free,
Well, sure.
they're still discriminated against once they get there.
Well, that's even like what would an accent like Philadelphia? You know what I mean? They go, "Oh, you're from the North Side. You talk like a North Side Philly guy. You're a South Side Philly guy." They can tell just from the dialect and the words that they use. It's like you're from Philly, but you ain't from where I'm from. You know?
Yeah,
And even
yeah.
like, because you said people still stay in the slums. I was thinking just like going back home to Flint. Flint's, you know, it's not the nicest place, but people will never leave there either, and it's kind of slummy in a lot of the parts of it, but people just don't leave for whatever reason. Yeah.
People love, they first love to belong to something,
They do.
a gang, a group,
Yeah.
and then they love familiar. And so you're like a rare breed in that you have traveled, you have gotten out of Flint. You know, like me, I've never left home. I've traveled, but I've never lived anywhere else. You've lived a great life. That's pretty rare. A lot of people born in their hometown and they die in their hometown.
Yeah.
And it's been pretty great. You're a rare person that has done that. My
Yeah.
dad my dad's lived in Los Angeles and New Jersey and You know, they wanted to, but they did come back home. You know, but they did do it. Uh, but you hear a lot of people, you know, they do move out and move away and never come back. Uh, I think it would be cool, like to go to Australia or something, and you would be all of a sudden I would be so cool and exotic in Australia, you know, and but I couldn't do it. I couldn't leave my mama. I can't leave my kids, you know.
You
It's
could.
like anytime,
You
you know,
could.
an Australian, whenever they come here, you just like, oh, everybody gravitates around them. You know, they want to hear them talk. They want to hear, you know, you want to be that guy's friend.
I don't. But yeah, I mean, especially with your accent too, because you got that thick Southern
It's
drawl where you
strong.
would be a hot commodity in places. I mean, you go to other. I mean, I guess Australia is an English speaking
I could go
country.
up north.
Yeah,
And
that too. You go to
I've heard
Montana.
I love listening to you talk, you
Where are
know, and
you from? I love
I've
it.
been, I know we're out of time, but I've been going down the rabbit hole about
Nah, we got plenty of time.
accents.
We got nothing to do. I cut it up into two parts. It don't matter.
But I've been going down this road about accents, you know, and North Carolina has the most accents of any state. You wouldn't believe that though, but like the Outer Banks, they have a different accent than say, I don't know, Raleigh or whatever.
They have like
And
a they have like a beach accent in the Outer Banks.
no, it's a like a slow, smooth, you know, but the the reason why, you know, like where I have a strong accent and people judge you on that. People judge you on your accent because historically, if you have a strong accent, it meant that you was isolated from the rest of the world. So, like, you get somebody with a strong Boston accent, they probably never left Boston. You know, they've got that strong accent that, so they're isolated and they're stupid, and that's where that all kind of come from. They've not been around other people, and I don't know. I feel like my my mom, you know, she was a homebody. She didn't do much, but with my dad growing up, I was we would we went all over. We've been all over the country. So I don't know, but being around my mom, living with my mom, I guess, and she's probably is she country? She's pretty country. No,
Southern.
but anyways, so yeah,
I
that's
mean,
but that's where it comes from. But it's also they talk about the South's accent sounding stupid, but Long Island sounds stupid to me.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
you wouldn't want that. You know, Jeff Foxworthy has that joke about you wouldn't want your doctor to sound like, well, what we're going to do here, I don't want to hear some Long Island accent going,
Yeah,
we're going to take your heart out, or I can't do it, but you
yeah.
know,
Or some L.A. accent, like, oh my God,
yeah,
your heart is. We're gonna need to
yeah.
remove your aorta.
So any strong accent, it sounds, it make the person sound stupid, and that's how we look at it as probably not. Yeah, you sound dumb if you have a strong accent.
Regardless of where it's from.
Yeah, regardless. But I
Interesting.
think the South gets made fun of more for it.
Yeah, yeah. Anyone who's dumb is a Southern. Anyone who's like, oh, you know, the South.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it's always Southern, but
Oh,
really, yeah,
hillbilly sister fucker.
yeah. But
But
really, the dumbest accent is retarded people. But we're not allowed to do that anymore. So I think we can all agree that that is the dumbest accent.
person, but it's from Boston or somewhere.
I did say that I love listening to Long Island people talk though, especially a good dude, an old dude that's like somebody that was part of the like New York City Police Department. God, I love listening to them talk. Everything they say sounds mafia. I don't know why that is. I
We
guess that's
we were in New Jersey last weekend, and it was like, you know, a bunch of Italian people, but it was like awesome.
I know.
They were so cool.
I know. I love talking to them.
It's like
I really do.
a bunch of like Irish like accents and Italian accents. It was fucking.
I know.
Oh, you come back, you fucking meatball, and
I
fucking.
know. Oh,
It's like,
I
oh,
love it.
it was so good. They're so friendly too. Everyone was like, "Hey, go fuck yourself, but come on over."
I know. Yeah, like on the bus, I come across everybody. In New York, Long Island, we had them today. I always love them whenever they come on there, and I love you know, the it's. I love that tough guy. I love it. It just seems mafia like. I don't know. Maybe that's all I'm exposed to. But every time they're talking, I'm just like, he's got a uncle, named Freddie Two Fingers or whatever that does know people, and they have. I don't know. I love it. I love it. Also, like, do you know who has no accent, and they want them for newscasters? Colorado. Colorado has no accent, and they search these people out for news, like if they want a national news or something like that. And because that way you don't sound stupid. You know,
Yeah,
if you got an accent and you're telling the news, can't believe that guy.
I I would. I'd rather have somebody with an accent telling me the news than that generic, phony voice. Because in broadcasting, they teach you how to talk like that. You know what I mean? How to speak clear and have a generic sort of speaking tone. And it's like you're just a phony motherfucker, is what you are. Who are you? Oh, you can't tell where I'm from. It's like because you're a nobody. That's why, you phony bastard. I don't like it.
You lost your identity.
Yeah, yeah. You're full of shit. That's what that means. You're a coward, and you're afraid of to being who you are. That was the girl I dated who was from Russia. She worked so hard to not have a Russian accent that she just
That's
sounded like
that's
a generic, just a generic voice because she was like embarrassed. She didn't want people to know that she was from Russia for some reason growing up. She didn't want to get
I think
made
that's
fun
all.
of. Yeah,
Well, as a kid, it'd probably be rough. I don't know.
I guess so. But it's even like, even my mom sounds a little bit country or whatever it is, you know. Because I took my Russian girlfriend up there to meet her. She's like, "Why does your mom talk Southern?" And I was like, "I don't. She's just a kind of a country lady, I guess. I really don't know. You know, she's just got a little draw to how she talks. But she's lived in Flint, Michigan her whole fucking life, you know."
That was another thing too that like they were talking about, the different accents. Like down here, we don't pronounce the T's like butter. It's more of a D. It's a D instead of a T. It's not butter. It's butter.
Yeah,
And and so then you get like
Hawaiians do that too.
okay,
It's not brother, it's brudda.
brother.
Brudda.
Okay,
What's up, brudda?
yeah, okay. And then they were talking like
Holler,
holler instead of
holler,
hollow.
hello.
We don't even know what it's really supposed to.
It's a holler,
Hollow.
baby.
It's
It's a holler.
it's a holler tree.
Well, you live down in the holler.
Yeah,
Oh, that's supposed to be hollow?
yeah.
Hollow.
Oh, I just thought that was a southern. I just thought that was a specific thing to the south of a
No, it's
place.
spelled
I didn't know it was supposed to be. Even if it was hollow, I still don't know what that means.
I think it's just a valley.
Hmm. Okay, I had no idea. I learned
Yeah.
something today. Wow.
But that's what you hear down here. It's a holler. And so, but yeah, hollered out tree.
out tree,
Yeah.
not a hollowed out tree.
No, her vagina's all hollered out. But then,
It's the
you
worst
go like,
kind.
but then you go to like New York, say, and some of those they don't pronounce the T at all. Like Manhattan, we live in Manhattan, and the T's completely gone.
I haven't heard
And
that one.
get this, where uh, I was trying to figure out when we lost our British accent. Uh, we didn't. We never lost our British accent. The British sound like we do now. They changed their accent. King George uh, started a thing where he wouldn't do the R's, kind of like Boston, how Boston talks. They don't use an R. That's what King George started doing, and so the upper class started imitating him, and then it trickled down, and they changed their accent. We actually sound we're the original. That's how they sounded back then. The colonizers and all that.
So we maintain the original because we got out.
We maintained the original, and they changed.
Interesting.
So all these historical movies that you watch where they're talking British, as a like Revolutionary War and stuff, that's not how they talked back then.
So it had more to do with class than region necessarily.
And I mean, all of it has regions like the Welsh. They have like, all of them have their own accent, but yes, that all trickled down from King George.
Yeah, we don't want to talk like the peasants. We say things differently. It,
I'm not sure what his thinking was. I don't know that part of it, but
I'm
but
sure
he
that I'm
did.
sure that had something to do with it.
I'm sure
You can't talk like
he
those.
can't talk like the Americans. That's what he's probably done.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, that's interesting. So Boston, Boston might have maybe the most original of the accents. Uh, not maybe that's not right. I'm not a good I'm not a good source for this.
I thought Boston
I
was
can
kind
give
of an
you
Irish city.
I can go straight to the punchline and tell you what that is, but I can't back up the story. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's okay. Nobody
Okay. All right.
giving bad information on the podcast, Monty. What the fuck?
But it is cool, and the accents are very cool how they come about. But it's all the placement in your tongue, like if it's against your your teeth or if it's up on the roof of your mouth is how you talk and how your accent and your words are coming out. And I didn't realize that so there's a lot of all accents are a little bit lazy in certain words, like, where Boston drops the R, go get the car and go to PetSmart and, and, and where we would say go get the car and let's go to PetSmart. And we're real hard on that R, the car, PetSmart, maybe not so much on the T, PetSmart. But all that stuff is interesting, isn't it? And it's something, the wiring in your head on where you put your tongue is how these words come out. And it's subtle, very, very subtle, you know, but interesting.
Little,
And I wish I could do accents,
little
but I can't.
cultural lesson. Yeah, I'm not. I can't really either. But
I had a lady from Ukraine on our tour bus today.
ah,
I mean, she'd been here for like 20 years, but, you know, to get somebody else's perspective on, like a native of what's going on. And this is a funny thing. I went down this too, is that so Ukrainians can understand Russian, like they can read it. And if they were talking Russian, if Russia, if a Russian was talking to a Ukrainian, they can understand them. but a Ukrainian talking to a Russian or a Russian reading Ukrainian, they can't. They can't do it.
Why?
The words are a little bit different. The letters are different in Ukraine, but I guess it's almost
I mean,
probably like where we can get. You can read Spanish and pretty much get what it's where it's going without really knowing Spanish. A lot of it's close, you know. Uh, and I think that's how maybe Ukraine, because maybe it's a derivative of Russian language, that a lot of things are similar, but there's enough that's not, that they. So, anyways, but the Russians can't read Ukrainian, but Ukrainians can read Russian.
well, that's like if you meet somebody who has a real thick Southern accent, like somebody from the fucking hills. It's like
Somebody from Louisiana.
it's like, what the fuck are you even saying right now? It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? It's like, oh, he just said he needs to pick up a gallon of milk real quick. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's wild. Absolutely wild.
There was a real country guy that I knew, and they called him, I can't say what they call him, but whenever he was talking, he'd say, well, you owe me $50. Dollars. I mean, we know, me and you know what that is.
Yeah.
But
it's a young
somebody,
lady.
No. You owe me $50.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dollars.
Yeah.
Dollars. You owe me $50.
Oh, I thought
Not ladies.
there's
No,
some
not
Islamic fella.
daughters. No.
Oh, okay.
Okay, never mind. That experiment didn't
No,
work.
I know. I'm just fucking with you. I
I was
know.
wondering if I said it to Casey, Casey would know what I was saying.
I know what you were saying. I was just fucking with you.
So, but I think, if you had somebody not around this area, they would have no idea what he's talking about. They might say, I don't have 50 daughters.
I got
I only
two.
got 2 daughters. Yeah.
And you can't have either of them, mister.
Yeah.
They're for me. If he was going to have my daughters, it's going to be me. Did you see hear about that lady cop? She had a train ran on her by 4 other cops.
No.
They were all fucking each other. And then her husband.
On purpose? Like,
Said what?
on purpose?
Yeah. They were all. Yeah, she was fucking all 4 of these guys at the same time, and her husband's gonna stay with her.
Here in Tennessee.
Say what?
Here in Tennessee.
I might have been in Tennessee. I didn't hear where it was from.
Yeah.
I just saw it today. I saw it right before we started the podcast, and it was because
She's in a gangbang.
she was in a gangbang. They're all getting fired, and her husband's gonna stay by her side.
Well, fuck yeah, you know what she's capable of now. She can't say no to anything. You're like, we're going to do it in the butt tonight, and she's got to say okay.
Well,
'cause
she probably was already doing that.
yeah, she was already doing it. Yeah. So she can't tell you no on anything that you want now.
I bet she still could. A guy like that, you're telling him no all the time, and he's listening.
Oh, a cuck.
Yeah, that's what it seems like.
But what about this? You're married for 20 years. Are you going to throw that away because she had a gangbang?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, not
Years?
without question. Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
100%.
How did this come out?
I don't know. I don't know how it got leaked or what happened. If they were doing it at the police station and somebody saw them or somebody got caught or whatever it was. But
Video in it.
yeah, that could be too. Everybody loves to be on camera now.
Got my ring light.
So you'd stick around. You'd go, oh, that 20 years is.
9/11.
Yeah, see? Dirty old broad.
I'm trying to be devil's advocate on this, Joe.
I understand that.
Can you see that? Can
Yeah.
you see?
Yeah.
Saying, hey,
Yeah.
whatever I want for the rest of my life.
I don't think that's
Be
how that works.
right now, BJ. Right.
You gotta, whenever we're done, look at a picture of the guy and you tell me if you think he's the type of guy that's going to go, you're going to give me what I want. He's not. He's definitely not that type of guy. Anyway, let's wind it down. What you got coming up, Monty? You got shows? You got any shows? Plug some stuff. The podcast has been growing, so plug some stuff. Let these people know where you're going to be at, what you've been up to, what you got going on.
I don't know. What do you got going on?
All sorts of stuff. I got going to be in Raleigh at the end of the month, the 27th and the 28th with Aaron Weber. We're going to be in Omaha next month. Got some shows in Nashville next month. Going back to Flint next month. A couple more shows at the end of the month. I can't remember exactly where they are. St. Louis in March, Syracuse in March. I think I got somewhere in maybe Indiana coming up in April too. I can't remember, but all sorts of stuff coming up the next few months. Working on some more shit as well.
I got a few things with Cletus T. Judd, but
oh yeah,
but I don't know. He's still working on dates, or I don't have them in my calendar yet, so I don't know. But and then we just got back from Louisville last week, so kind of happy to be home this weekend.
How was Louisville?
Louisville was great. It really was.
Where were you at?
At the Caravan.
Oh, yeah. I emailed them yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah. Sent out some emails. Not really getting too much traction with the emails, but we'll see. I think I'm just going to start trying to find my own venues and doing my own shit.
And that's what I did, and got that gig in South Carolina. Guy never saw me, except for the videos that I sent, and just immediately, just took a liking to me, and it's just got to be the right time, the right place, at the right moment that they see you.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just tired of waiting around, and it's like I've been building my own. I hit 64,000 followers on Facebook this past week, so I'm trying to figure out.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's whatever's going on over there has been building and growing, and people keep asking me when I'm going to be in places. So, and I keep, like, the St. Louis shit we're doing at the end of the month, or
Helium?
we're doing the small room in Helium. I think it's in March, but I was trying to see, because we're only doing Friday and Saturday. I'm doing those with Aaron, but I was trying to see if I could set something up and go up there Thursday and just headline my own thing, or stay Sunday. But I'm talking to people, other comics and shit, and it's like they're trying to fucking have them get back to me or set up a show. It's like I might just find a venue, a brewery or something like that, and just try and set up my own shit, because I'm tired of just waiting on people.
Stanhope Way, that's what he did, right?
Yeah, it kind of. I mean, it would be nice to have everything built in or whatever, and have people doing it, but it's like I'm tired of waiting around.
If it makes sense, why not have you in and do Thursday or Sunday?
Yeah. Well, even if it's not Helium, I wasn't even looking at Helium. I was just trying to.
Danny's used to do that.
Yeah. Well, I think people are, fucking Mark Norman's doing 10 shows this weekend, all sold out. So I think they're kind of doing that too, to where it's like we can just, if you just want to sell out the whole weekend, why not do that instead?
Yeah. But I'm saying, like, whenever the feature come in with a headliner, the feature would do
like Wednesday night or something like that.
Yeah. Or the Sunday.
Yeah.
Or both.
I don't know. Maybe I should just ask Helium. Like, hey,
it's an off night, and why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Do like a $5 ticket or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And makes sense.
Yeah.
You're already there.
I'm just trying to. certainly
But
ain't
that's the
ain't
whole
getting no managers or agents to hit me up. So it's like I got to figure out a way to capitalize on this shit
gotta
while
do
I
it
can.
yourself.
Yeah, that's what it seems like, and it's
I don't know if it's true or not, but I was told in the beginning that don't seek out the manager or the agent. Let them come to you because they won't appreciate you if you come and ask them to represent you. Now, if they come to you, now that means they're into you and they're going to help you. But
yeah.
otherwise, you're not. They're not going to take care of you. Like, did you cut your hair?
No, it's just up. It's just up in the hat.
All I see is just like right here.
Oh,
And
it's
it looks
a
like,
little bit sticking out. No, no,
yeah.
no. It's
Oh,
just
is it that short?
no. It's
Okay.
this is probably as long as it's ever been.
Okay.
I sent some shit to some modeling agencies in Nashville too.
Okay.
Gonna try and get some print work.
Whatever, dude. Whatever it takes, right? You can do hands. You're like, I got great feet. You can use the money maker,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah,
You can use both at the same time. I need double pay for this. My hands and my face.
yeah. Just trying to spread it because that was whenever we were in Jersey. It's Vinny Brand is the guy who owns the Stress Factory or whatever. But he was hosting all weekend. But he just was like, "You should model. You should just be a model." And it's like, well, I just got these new headshots, so I'll send them to some people and we'll see what happens. You know what I mean? Tired of hearing about it and not doing anything, so it's like, might as well. I got this face and got this hair. Might as well try and
Yeah.
make a few bucks off it.
Model for Black Rifle Coffee
Yeah, yeah. Little
or
Pantene.
whatever.
Wouldn't that be nice for a poster? Little Pantene Pro V. Joe
Yeah.
Kelley at Zany's. You may have seen him from the Pantene Pro V commercial, baby.
VO5.
Oh yeah, the cheap stuff.
You take whatever. You take whatever, Joe.
I certainly would. I certainly would in a heartbeat. They want to pay me to do it. It's whatever.
For men, just do you can wash your hair, your face, your body, all with the same soap.
Yeah,
Brush it.
yeah. What is that? Do some Manscaped stuff.
Yeah, do all that. Yeah.
Oh man,
Yeah. Say, you want me to shave my balls right here on air? I'll do it.
I do it.
Get the camera down here. Get these hairy balls.
Just got to start doing a few more push-ups. Oh shit! All right. Hey, thanks for being on the podcast, Monty.
Absolutely.
Love you. We'll do it
That's fun.
again real
Always
soon.
fun.
Fan favorite. People be.
I'm always fascinated how we never run out of stuff to talk about.
Well, we talk about nothing.
True.
It's pretty easy to do when you're talking about nothing most of the time.
And I don't even know all the facts about everything, so that's easy.
Nah, we just
Just
make it up as we go. It don't matter.
throw it out there and don't even have to know nothing about it.
Yeah, we're pro Ukraine right now, but maybe next time around we won't be.
Nope. Maybe we're all Putin.
We'll get it figured out. Thanks for doing it, Monty.
All right. See you, Joe.